Hey everyone, welcome. I'm MisterBo, and today we're going to be doing some more speculating and some more theorizing about upcoming Grand Prix in Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled. Today we're going to be talking about who we're going to be seeing in the upcoming Grand Prix as playable drivers. Along with that, we're also going to be talking about developer time trials, whether or not we're actually going to be seeing them in the game in the future, and if so, what will the reward be? Now, I have already done a video going over whether or not we'll actually see more future content after February's Grand Prix, and if you want to check that out, there'll be a link in the description below or in the top right hand corner now. And I've also done a video going over what themes these Grand Prix could be. Again, if you want to check that out, description or in the top right hand corner now. Now, before I get into all this wild speculation, if you do enjoy the video, then click the like button. It really does help support the channel. If you're new around here, feel free to subscribe. And if you do, also tap that bell icon so you never miss a video. So currently in Nitro-Fueled, we have 50 playable drivers thanks to the inclusion of Megamix in the Rusland Grand Prix. That is a crazy amount of characters for any kind of game, let alone a kart racing game. However, there's still a handful of characters that fans want to see added into this game. And thanks to a data mine for the Neon Circus Grand Prix, it seems like we might be seeing Grand Prix up until perhaps May or June, if it's to be believed. We know we're getting a new Grand Prix in February, and we kind of know we're going to be getting Emperor Velo as the playable driver in it. It seems to be a space/toxic themed Grand Prix. Obviously, Emperor Velo would be character 51. People are drawing a conclusion to character 51, area 51, space, aliens. It all kind of works together. But after that, we just don't know. We also know of a character in the last couple of data mines that Beanox has been subtly teasing, firstly being Driver Who Am I, and then being changed to Driver Who Could I Be, and we'll talk about who that could be in a little bit. But let's go over who I think we're going to be seeing added in, because I think the Rusland Grand Prix gave us an indication of how we're going to be seeing content delivered to us in the next couple of Grand Prix. And what I mean by that is we're probably only going to be getting one character per Grand Prix going forwards, only because there's really only a handful of characters we could be seeing added in at this point. And if Beanox were to start adding 3 characters into every Grand Prix again, and we did get until May, we would really be starting to scrape the barrel at that point if people don't think we already are. So after Emperor Velo, who is the most likeliest of characters to be added in? Well, I think it's a combination of characters, and that is the Evil Twins. Over the last couple of tracks, we've seen a lot of references to Twinsanity, and of course the Evil Twins are the main villain of that game, a fan favourite. Now, when it comes to the Evil Twins, it does raise the question, are they going to be 2 separate characters, kind of like Chicken Stew, or are we going to be seeing them as one playable character and they both sit in the same kart, maybe giving us a reference to the original CTR where we were supposed to get a couple of characters who were actually supposed to be in the same kart together? Well, I would guess they would be one playable character and you'd have them squabbling and fighting against each other whilst you're trying to win a race. I think that would be a lot of fun, and I know people do want to see 2 characters in one kart at some point. We got a nasty tease in the Rusland Grand Prix trailer where we saw Chicken Stew in the same kart. Unfortunately, that turned out to be part of a CTR TV video. Now, adding in the Evil Twins, again, if they are one character, would take the roster up to 52, only giving us a few more spaces for characters. So who would be next after the Evil Twins? Well, in my opinion, I think it would be Viscount. Now, if you aren't aware of who Viscount is, he's a pretty obscure and not really known character. He is from a game that a lot of people tried to block out of their mind. I personally really enjoyed it when I used to play it, and that is Crash Boom Bang. He was the main villain in that game. He was a Tasmanian devil, he was a purple looking guy, and I think he would work perfectly in this game. He's kind of like a pinstripe kind of character, and we've already seen more obscure characters like Yaya Panda and even Megamix make their way into this game, so I think Viscount is definitely a possibility. The only real question is though, are we going to be getting characters tied to the themes of the Grand Prix? We've seen that with Megamix and the Rusland Grand Prix. We're probably going to be seeing that with Emperor Velo and the space-themed Grand Prix. We'd probably get a Twinsanity Grand Prix with the Evil Twins. What would we get with Viscount? maybe like a luxury Grand Prix, or my theory that I've mentioned in a previous video is like a movie set Grand Prix. That's the only real question when it comes to Viscount, but I do think he is going to make it into this game when all is said and done. And that would take us up to a total of 53 characters. Now, interchangeable with 54 and 55, I think we're probably going to be seeing Madame Amberly and Rusty Walrus. Madame Amberly has been heavily hinted at in Nina's Nightmare, and the same goes for Rusty Walrus in the new Megamix Mania track. Now obviously both of these characters are from Twinsanity, and ideally it would make sense to do a Twinsanity Grand Prix with the evil twins, Madame Amberly and Rusty Walrus. However, I think we are only going to be getting one character, so splitting them up would make sense. As to what the themes around their Grand Prix would be, I'm not entirely sure. Now, of course, that would take us up to a total of 55 characters, and I think we probably aren't going to be getting many more than that. Now, I have missed out a couple of characters, but we'll get to them in just a second. But those are the characters that I think we're most likely going to be seeing in Grand Prix. From there, let's move over to developer time trials. Now, if you aren't aware, why am I talking about developer time trials? Well, in the Winter Festival Grand Prix, when we had the data mined for that, we did see some code that suggested we would be getting developer time trials. Everything else in that data mine turned out to be true. We got a brand new mask called Apu Apu, we got Megamix, we got skins for all the characters that it suggested, all the code names for carts, paint jobs, all of that kind of stuff came out to be true, though developer time trials were just missing. Then when we got to the Rustland Grand Prix data mine, there was no mention of dev times in there. However, I do think we will be getting developer time trials probably in the next Grand Prix, or if not in one of the upcoming ones. Now, I don't think developer time trials are going to be ridiculously hard. I think they're probably going to be sort of the same leap as from going from entropy to oxide. You go from oxide to the dev times, and it will probably only be maybe 5 to 10 seconds quicker. Something that is definitely achievable for everyone if they put their mind to it. However, what will the reward be? Well, the most obvious answer is probably a new skin for entropy, or maybe a new skin for oxide. Perhaps we get some sort of paint, a cart, wheels, or something like that. But I think the thing that a lot of people would want, and a lot of people probably wouldn't want, is a character being tied to this. Now, obviously, we've already seen a character tied to time trials with Entropy. I think adding a new character and tying them exclusively to the time trials would actually be really awesome. We already have 50 characters that you can play from. One character tied behind a time trial isn't going to be the end of the world. But as to what that character could be, well, I think Beanox has been teasing and hinting towards it with the data mines, and that is character who am I, or character who could I be. Now, a lot of people had suggested that maybe this character was Emperor Velo, but it seems like Emperor Velo is the character Driver Joe in the recent data mine and will be the next GP character. The other popular theory for this driver is Willy Wompercheeks, and I think Willy Wompercheeks would be the perfect character to introduce as a developer time trial unlockable. For some reason, it just kind of makes sense, and I think it would be a pretty awesome reward. You rock up into an online lobby and you see someone playing as this goofball character Willy Wompercheeks. However, you know they're probably pretty good because they've been able to defeat those dev times. Now, the only other suggestion for a character who I think could be introduced as a reward for the dev times and who those data mines could be referencing is a character who I wish I didn't have to talk about, and that is Mr. Crumb. If you aren't aware of who Mr. Crumb is, he is the villain from the Crash Tiger 99X game, a game that I don't think anyone has ever played on a console that I don't think anyone has probably ever played. However, over the last couple of months, this character has really started to pick up and become sort of a fan favorite, a forgotten character that people just want to see introduced again. And looking at how Beanox likes to take things that the community wants and take things that are sort of being forgotten in time and bring them forwards, like we've seen with Rillaroo, obviously Hasty, and Megamix and Yaya Panda, I think Mr. Crumb is definitely a possibility and could be interchangeable as a reward for dev times. Now, of course, if Willy Wompercheeks or Mr. Crumb isn't a dev time trial unlockable, I think Willy Wompercheeks at least will be a character from a future Grand Prix and would probably take the place of Madame Amberly or Rusty Walrus. But there you have it. Those are all the characters who I think we're going to be seeing in this game by the time they stop supporting it. I think we've only got 4, maybe 5 more Grand Prix left, 4 or 5 more characters left. I think the total roster will be around 55, 56. I don't think we'll reach 60, but I would be pleasantly surprised if we did. Beanox, prove me wrong and add as many characters as you can. I don't think we're going to be seeing characters like the lab assistant, the hog, the tribesman. I don't think we're going to be seeing another Spyro Grand Prix, because I would rather have Crash characters in a Crash game than Spyro characters in a Crash game personally. And of course, we're not going to be seeing any other crossover because, well, this is Activision's IP, and I don't think they want to introduce any other kind of IP into this game. The only other crossover we probably could get would be something like Call of Duty, but that isn't going to happen. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about the characters that I've said here? Do you think these characters are going to make it into the game? Or maybe you don't? Is there any character that I missed out, like Evil Crash, Farmer Ernest, that you want to see in the game? Let me know in the comments below. Also, do you think developer time trials will be coming to the game eventually? And if so, what kind of reward would you like to see? Maybe just a new skin for Entropy, like Digital Entropy? Or would you be one of those people who'd like to see a character locked behind those time trials? Let's discuss. Of course, like at the beginning of this video, if you did enjoy this, then be sure to click the like button to show your support. If you're new around here, feel free to subscribe. And if you do, also tap that bell icon so you never miss a video. Also, you can follow me over on Twitter at IamMisterBo to stay up to date. You can also follow me over on twitch.tv/IamMisterBo for live streams every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. And you can also go ahead and join our Discord server, which is just shy of 300 members, to talk about all things Crash Bandicoot, as well as plenty of other games like Smash Bros, Pokemon, and much, much more. A link to that and everything else is in the description below. And that will wrap it up for this video. Thank you very much for hanging out and watching, and hopefully I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.